Hello, this is ametamartha with the full moon reading on February 18th, and this energy will last us until the last quarter moon on the 23rd. So I just ask for clear guided messages for the collective in order for me to offer advice, encouragement, any preemptive warnings or just general awareness regarding the energetic influence of the week ahead, so that we might be able to interact with it consciously and with I'm sorry, my cat. Both of them. Okay. Look, there they go. Hello. You good? Right. Well, I'm gonna get into it then. Cats. Cats are resilient. Cats land on their feet. The whole 9 lives. Stealthy. Excuse me, both of you? I have a candle right here and literally they both just stuck their nose to the candle. Okay, so that's curiosity, which I said at 144. 44 is about remembering that your guides are there to help you throughout the day and to ask for help. And with that curiosity of a cat, they will stick their face on a flame like, what is this? Just to try to figure out, wait, okay. I picked this up like this, so it's actually reversed. I'm pretty sure I did the same thing with this one, had that thought also, so I'll just go ahead and reverse it just because I thought about it. Okay, so what I was saying about cats and that curiosity, what do they say? Curiosity killed the cat or set its whiskers on fire. So maybe we need to be a little bit vigilant this week. Don't let our curiosity... said that at 2:44. So obviously we need to remember to ask our higher self and for guidance as we go through the process of this week, because obviously that curiosity might get us a little bit close to getting burned. So let's just keep that in mind, since both of them literally jumped up as soon as they heard that I started recording, came through here, and then both looked at the flame. So that's kind of interesting to me. I like to take every single aspect of pulling cards and things that happens even while I'm shuffling as guidance. So we'll just let that be what it is and see if it translates to the actual reading. Whew. So right off we have the Page of Pentacles. So we're seeing, and I said that at 3:33. Heck yeah. Okay, so don't know about you guys with the synchronicities, but they sure have been ever present in my experience. And seeing as this is a collective reading, I would be willing to say that these shifts that we're making collectively are not solely something that's going on through the lives of those around me and myself. So having the Page of Pentacles here upright, we are obviously starting to see things coming into fruition, or at least the evidence that our manifestations and the intuition we've put out, intention we've been putting out there lately is starting to show a return. And though maybe in the past we have experienced a lot of adversity, we're starting to see things shift for us, and these perspectives are changing. So as this as these physical representations of our spiritual intent are starting to surface in our life and encourage us to keep going, this energy from the past that has been just us being up against everything, maybe going through all the different layers of shadow work and integration, everything that we have been through in the past that we've had to heal, all of the times that we tried and seemed to have failed but actually just learned something from. We are taking a step away from this and also laying to rest everything that once, or okay, maybe not even laying to rest the things that we did feel as though had robbed us, but changing our perspective and seeing that we've never been robbed once in our life, but only been granted gifts. And see, I've seen consistently since I've said 333, I saw 433, and now I just saw 533, and 544. So the 33s consistently have to do with maintaining our faith and optimism. So keeping the perspective that every single aspect of every single thing in our lives that has ever happened to us can be perceived as something that we have learned something from. And that perspective is something that we are granted when looking through life with optimism, or filtering what comes through our life experience with optimism. And so as we're shifting out of this perspective, we're also no longer attracting cycles of lesson under these categories into our lives because our perspectives are shifting. So when our negative beliefs create a reality to solidify that belief, and then we finally learn something from it and transcend that pattern, then we break the cycle so that we can engage in new things. So I think also here with the Page of Swords in reverse, we're learning how to take action differently too, because we also have the King of Cups falling straight after, and then the Six of Swords. So the Page is a more immature suit or court card in comparison to a king. So with the swords being the way that we take action, we have once before allowed our actions to be taken in this immature or underdeveloped way because we were not once understanding of ourselves through the perspective of a King of Cups, which, the cups are about your emotions. So if we were mentioning, or I mentioned earlier, that each wand here is like an aspect of the levels of shadow work we've done, and the shadow is what causes us to make irrational actions based on emotional response. We're learning now how to move past that, and it's been a slow process of doing, but when the waters start to ripple around us and get rocky, we know that we can move through these times in order to reach our prosperous outlook again. So just letting these emotions come up as they stir, pass through as they did come in, the same way, our thoughts and feelings, they occur really without our permission, really without our conscious effort, and then, if we stay aware of our physical state and our mental state, ask observation questions to ourselves, try to investigate about where these emotions are coming from, etc., then we start to upgrade in consciousness as we remain aware and learn how to surrender those lower vibrational feelings and validate those senses of shadow when just feeling those feelings and letting them integrate on their own, because nothing needed to be done, no action needed to be made, but we're continuing to level up in the area of emotion through the King. And then also now we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. Okay, anytime I'm hearing to just look up specifically what something means, I'm just going to take it as there is some words already out there that need to be read. So I will look into that. If it will let me. Here we go. Oops, nope, wrong one. Okay. The Nine of Cups in reverse suggests that you are getting what you thought you wanted, but it's not really what you want at all. The defect may not be in the thing itself, but in the surprise of discovering that your dream come true doesn't make you feel like you expected that it would. This is an essential life lesson. When you set a goal, specify how you want it to feel in your life, not just what you want it to be, to do, or to have. You will get much more fulfillment from your manifestations if you go about it in this way. So that's kind of odd to randomly come up, but say if we are learning how to make these processes, moving through these negative emotions so that we can gain prosperity in our physical lives, then maybe, okay. So with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, with the Nine of Cups also in reverse, and then that definition, what I heard from these two in combination was to manifest this life that we're moving toward based off of a higher understanding and our past laid to rest. It is more about feeling into everything rather than putting so much work into it. So with our manifestations, if we do not feel that gratitude and peace and abundance and stillness and just like tranquility in all areas of our life all the time, well, not all the time, like not the pressure of always being happy, but you know what I mean, just like maintaining the higher perspective even through lower vibrational feelings and such, then we don't actually have to put so much work in to manifest. We have to put literally no effort in, because once you start to rest in the consciousness level of unity, you understand that you are the creator, and through surrender you actually don't have to work for anything in your life, because to work hard on something means that you don't have it, and to be connected to unity consciousness through feeling, you know already that you have everything you need. There is no need for a need. There is no desire for something that you already have, because you are everything. So feeling into that every moment of every day, regardless of what emotional state you are in, allowing that gratitude. I said that at 44 again, 1344, 13 being the number of allowing yourself to lay things to rest, doing that shadow work and putting that effort in and having success in that. 44 being, again, interacting with your angel guides and what have you. So maintaining the feeling of gratitude, optimism, surrendering anything that you have stemming from your shadow, knowing that you will successfully succeed in your efforts because you can ask your guides to help you to surrender in those moments so that you stay connected to unity consciousness. Thus, the only work you have to do to attain your manifestations of what you are wanting to see come into fruition in your life is the connection to the feeling that it gives you to fully surrender all of everything to the universe and know that you're divinely provided for. So we're not going to have to try so hard. And just keeping in mind that that specific interaction is our responsibility. We are the beneficiaries of massive expanded lifestyles that we have the right to co-create and the power to do so. And as long as we see ourselves that way, keeping that perspective that everything that comes to us is something that we created from within, and allowing ourselves to see anything that is more uncomfortable that goes on in our lives as a repercussion of that. Every single thing that we experience is something that we manifested from within based on a feeling that was connected to a belief, whether it be a positive, high vibrational belief of, I want everything, give it to me. Because not even give it to me, because like I said, it's already yours. Just knowing that you can telecommunicate with the universe constantly and have things come to you constantly because it is you, you're attracting yourself. And then allowing that to overlay attracting negative experiences to learn that very lesson of surrender with. So just keeping that in mind with the Four of Pentacles. Any last messages before I move toward the Oracle deck? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So obviously we're not quite through this cycle yet, because the Ace is in reverse. We still have some things to do. We have the Star also in reverse, and then the Three of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. So this says to me that the new journey in our physical life has not started yet, because we are still technically practicing this. And maybe this week, when I said that curiosity, maybe allowing what you have come up for you that you think that you do desire, that you do want to see come into fruition, allowing this process of letting it go and watching it come to you when you don't need it, not going straight for it, and then getting yourself burned or ourselves burned. We allow this Ace of Pentacles to physically come down and express itself to us, because now we can stand assured that it's coming and that there's nothing to do. There's nothing to work hard on to get it to manifest, because we don't have to do anything anymore. Releasing the even want of it to come into fruition into your life. Forget all about it. And then we do see that fulfillment of the wish come up with the Star. And then you also gain that wisdom that what you pour into your feelings, you also are pouring into your physicality. So to unlock this Ace of Pentacles is to maintain this process, and then we see wish fulfilled because we start to gain our footing in that wisdom. And then also just down here with the Three of Pentacles being more about collaboration and being with people and discussing things. Maybe I'm feeling like, okay, so the 3 and the 6, that's another 333. I think instead of collaborating with our people, unless it is talking about a past thing, so say you're in the middle of something that's triggered your shadow, you've done this work, and you collaborate with your guides. It's 1844, sorry. So doing the work, it's like solidifying itself to me. Anyway, doing the work by getting the higher perspective, by collaborating these things with your guides, like I mentioned, the surrender state, asking the self, the mind, the body, and the spirit all individually what these things coming up are about, and finding the root of the cause, and then letting go of that answer and feeling into that so that you can continuously heal. And then know in that present moment you are perfect and you are peace, and then seeing this come into fruition by itself. So if you are collaborating with friends, maybe speaking about the successes that you've had in this process rather than getting their input on what you're going through first, because you need to talk to the guidance system in this darker state, maybe through meditation or what have you, beforehand. So like, yeah, you can talk to your friends about what's going on in your life, obviously, and bounce those things off of each other so that you can encourage each other, but don't go to people first. Go within know that you have everything that you need, that you seek outside of yourself, within yourself, before you go ahead and try to solidify something through a filter of somebody else's perspective. Because then what we are going to be receiving from doing this inward work with our guidance is something that we can go out and pour into the world after the fact. So to gain these perspectives, we'll start to flood our physical life with the nourishing waters that cause all of this foliage to bloom, that we can share with others and have like a completely restored perspective of the world through an innocent outlook. This is 2 prosperity cards here. We're moving toward it with that 6 of Swords, and it's happening regardless of how long it takes, because even if we start the cycle over again and have to learn the lesson again, we're still going to learn it inevitably. I mean, it's the point of creation, if you ask me. Okay, one more shuffle, and then I'll leave it at that, you guys. Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you. Cool. Now again, I have been liking reading from the book, so I'm going to keep doing that. But for now, we have devotion with the nature spirits, truth with the higher self, rest with the Holy Spirit, and community with our spiritual ancestors. So, devoting ourselves to seeking the truth, resting in the surrender, and letting go of that will bring forth that manifestation into the physical, what we see outward, and into like our perspective with people around us, with community. Let's see, we have 44 again, yay dude, and a 3 and a 24, which turns into 66, which turns into 6, which goes back to 33, and then 21, which is also a 3. So I may be stretching, but I don't know if I believe that either. 23. Well, first 3. Okay. So, community with the spiritual ancestors, our tribe, our family, camaraderie and kinship. Your spiritual ancestors are gathering around you at this time, holding you in their light and connecting you to your spiritual family here on earth. Your soul is now seeking the kind of love and support that comes from being part of the right community, your people, so to speak. Not wanting you to feel isolated in any way, your ancestors hear your soul's call and are presently guiding you toward kindred spirits. Understand and realize that you can't achieve your goals alone. Be open to support. You need the soul energizing support of your tribe. Give up any notions you have going at it alone in life, and develop the insight and wisdom to recognize your limitations. After all, even Christ picked 12 associates to help him accomplish his mission on earth. Follow your ancestors' directions. It is they who encourage you to join a club, enroll in a course, or sign up for a neighborhood baseball team. You never know who you will meet, and your ancestors' message to you is open your heart and feel our presence in your life, and be open to your spiritual family on earth. I don't know about y'all, but I have definitely met some of my people lately, and it feels really, really, really good, like being home for the first time. And if you have not met these people yet, and this is what's coming up for us in the collective reading this week, I would definitely recommend it. Like I said, even with the 3 of Pentacles, say right now you have not attracted your tribe, and the people who are around you right now, as you make these shifts, will ultimately vibrate out of your life, or more so, you will vibrate out of theirs, because, you know, when you heighten your frequency, people of a lower frequency, which is not like a comparative thing, it's just a vibration thing, they can't stay. You're tuned to different frequencies, so it becomes uncomfortable to have different types of frequency in your field when you start to raise in consciousness. So then you're going to have to attract people who have that same consciousness. So say, like I mentioned, going in and collaborating with your ancestors who do encourage you to meet new people who end up being people who absolutely 100% understand you. And then that's the people you talk to and can reflect your journey of meeting, like how you met them, and are like, oh yeah, me too. And then they solidify your experience because they have like experiences, rather than speaking with somebody who is somewhat less developed consciously than you, and they make you feel invalidated or question the legitimacy of your own experience due to their lack of experience themselves with what you're talking about. So then, a lot of the time that type of interaction can make you question yourself and your intuition. So moving to truth with the higher self: honesty, clarity, discipline, and intellect. The higher self is present, activating your powers of reason and intellect. It asks you to develop clarity and objectivity when looking at your life, rather than interpreting events through the murky and distorted waters of emotion. Boom. Strive to see the reality of what happened in the past so that you can acquire a more accurate understanding of what's going on. You may notice things that make you uncomfortable or challenge your ethics. Ask your higher self to give you the courage to stand up for your truths and address difficult situations at their core. Boom! Rather than distance yourself or pretend you don't see a real problem because they make it uncomfortable. Or they make you uncomfortable, my bad. Like a child in a fairy tale, the emperor's new clothes, the higher self is motivating you to not only see life more deeply, but also share your perspective with those around you. At this time, for example, you should address your unbalanced budget and look for ways to cut corners. It's also a time to acknowledge your ever-expanding waistline and seek out what's really eating at you. This is when you need to step away from your emotions and dispassionately study the problems at hand so that you can come to a solution without blame or projection. Ask yourself what the problem is, not who the problem is. Only then can you begin to find real solutions with productive outcomes. Your higher self is sharpening your perspective and clarifying your view so that you can make important and necessary changes at this time. As Carl Jung once said, when the diagnosis is correct, the healing begins. And your higher self's message to you is look for the truth behind appearances. See, even bringing back Carl Jung into it, that's the freaking guy who wrote and came up with the whole concept of the shadow. So, boom, boom, boom. 24. Okay. Rest with the Holy Spirit. We have meditation, prayer, withdrawal, and retreat. Again, what I said with the Three of Pentacles. Our culturally perverse notion that doing is the correct use of our time, and that doing nothing is completely a waste of time, has indeed made a sick society. Your overwhelming desire to back off from the whirlwind of activity and take a break, even throwing in the towel altogether, isn't crazy or unrealistic. It is a direct summons from your Holy Spirit to withdraw your attention from the outer world and reconnect with your soul. Your life is not to be frittered away in meaningless and unexamined activity. You came into with a purpose and specific soul intentions that are being neglected. They're now knocking at your door for attention, reminding you that you have commitments to keep. And if you don't heed this call and begin to self examine, you may even enter a dark night of the soul and a time where nothing feels meaningful. Listen to the Holy Spirit and open your heart to its direction. Take lots of time to be alone and get in touch with your soul. Write in a journal, seek counsel, and pray. Allow yourself to be in direct contact with the guiding wisdom of the Holy Spirit on a daily basis, withdrawing from the world, whether through contemplation, meditation, or even a sabbatical, is the most powerful way to use your time right now. The Holy Spirit is guiding you into a quiet moment. Its message to you being, take time for yourself. 44. Devotion with the nature spirits. Inspiration, contemplation, nature, and faith. The presence of God is everywhere. So if you feel disconnected from the divine, you're the one who left. Your nature spirits are beckoning you back to a place of awareness that reconnects you to Source. Do not allow your mind to isolate you in fear or get stuck on dwelling in misery. Instead, go outside and take in the nature or the natural world, which is a beautiful gift for you to enjoy. See the divine all around you. Focus on the beauty, the power, and the holiness of that nature affirms. Humbly surrender to this greatness, or to this greatest of forces present in all things, including you. The nature spirit's message to you is breathe into the divine. You are in God and God is in you. So that's what I was meaning also about talking, or in regards to unity consciousness, so I think we're really being asked to remember who the heck we are so that we can start living the life that we're here to live when it comes to our soul purpose. And, everything up until this point has just been a means to figure out who that is, what we do and don't stand for, and figure out what is next for us now that we're entering such an expansive time with, 2022's vibration of just like new beginning in general. Let's see, which cards do I want to keep? I really have a lot of faith in us that we will see all of this come into fruition, and that it'll have such a lasting impact that we aren't even going to be the same, honestly. Like, that's kind of what I've been feeling in my own life lately. And it has been changing me in so many different ways that make me feel like I will never be the same again after this. Like, even if nothing physically changes in my life, my perspective is new. And though very many things are already changing in my life, I don't have to have fear regarding these things, because I know that it's happening to me in order for me to attain the footpath of my destiny. And if that's true for me, then I know it's true for you. And just doing whatever it is that validates that experience is what we're being called to do right now. And, if I can go forth into my own journey with the understanding, the solace, and the confidence and courage to do so, then I believe that you also have every single ounce of ability to do that as well. So thank you for watching. Have a blessed week, and remember that we're supposed to be celebrating. So as we reconnect with our sense of self and our sense of oneness with everything, take our time to interact with our inner guidance and with nature. Just learn how to enjoy every moment of it. Like I said, feeling into it rather than physically doing something about it, because there's nothing to do but shift our perspective, and that has to do with the feelings that come up from limiting beliefs. So just continue to do what you're doing, and we're going to get there. Thanks so much, and have a good one.